Hi, my name is India. If you know me by another name, then yeah, that's my name too. And it is more of a nickname. I am making a YouTube video about uncomfortable topics. Today's subject is going to be politics and the presidential election. So, let me first explain why I make these videos. I do these because I have so many thoughts in my head. There's so many topics that I want to do something about or change, and I can't change or can't figure out how to change. But it's my way of letting it out. It's my way of, yeah, it's kind of like therapy for me, for myself. So if I upset anyone by anything I say, I don't mean to upset anyone specifically. I'm just stating my views or the knowledge I have or opinions. Okay, so yesterday I spent some time catching up on the presidential election. So there was the vice president debate. I obviously didn't watch it. I didn't watch the presidential debate. I was in the U.S. during the time Trump's ear got shot, and Biden stepped down, and the Democrats are making fun of Biden for not being able to talk or walk. And the Republicans probably were too. And then Kamala, took his place. I heard all the crap about how that's unfair. There's no fairness in politics. I worked in politics for years, and the way we win is by, it's like I tell my kids, the moment someone in a fight, the moment someone hits you, they're telling you, I don't want to treat you fairly. I don't no longer want to, have a fair, conversation or relationship with you. So at that time, it means it's all or nothing. Either you survive or I survive. And that's kind of like politics. Both parties that you work for will try anything to get your vote. They will try anything. It's sad. But down to, killing children or capturing world leaders all of a sudden. And so each election year, there's usually something that happens, some kind of shocking thing, Osama bin Laden was finally found and killed. Saddam Hussein, was also killed. September 11th, I believe, happened after the election, but it was during the Bush administration, I believe. Oh yeah, it was during the Bush administration, and that was politically motivated too. I don't know. That's a very controversial subject, and I can do a whole video on September 11th, which, so I'll just skip that right there. But clearly, we needed to go to Afghanistan and build pipelines, and I digress. Okay, the current political system or political selection is between Kamala Harris and Trump. And I dislike them both. I have been a lifelong Democrat. I've never understood independence. Well, I'm not that I haven't understood independence. I haven't understood undecided. Independence, you know, they probably see things from, like a probably a honest point of view. Um, because usually everything's not like black and white. Um, so I lived in California when Kamala Harris was Attorney General, and I don't know, we're all aware of Trump um, administration, COVID time period, and the fun that was. Um, but I remember like leading up until Trump's election that his speeches were based on hatred and I guess blaming different races or different ethnicities or different people for the current problem, that financial problem that people were in. A lot of people were suffering financially, and the middle class used to be a greater population of middle class. And then before, Trump even ran, the middle class slowly dwindled down into like the poor class. And so a lot of them were frustrated. That, was done for tons of reasons. The automotive industry, the foreclosure, housing crisis. I'm trying to think of a better way to explain it. The subprime loans. I can't remember exactly because it was a long time ago, but pretty much the houses were valued at a higher amount and then valued at a lower amount. That wasn't something that immigrants coming to the country did. That was like, for instance, Social Security has been running out of funding. I learned about that in school years ago, in enough time period that we could have easily saved money and put money in there so that the people now that are in their 20s and 30s would not have to pay Social Security when they will not be able to collect on it when they are old enough to collect on it. We knew that the baby boomers were going to all retire at the same time period, and it would put a bunch of weight on the Social Security Administration. We chose not to do anything about it. We knew in the year 2000, I believe, I want to say Al Gore, I can't remember the name of his movie, but we knew about climate change then. So unfortunately, in my oldest child's whole lifetime, we have known about climate change and have had her whole lifetime to fix and change things, and we did not change them. So then Trump comes around and he sees all these things wrong, and all of a sudden Facebook just got like super nasty. It was just like he gave people a reason to hate, and it was sad because I grew up in a very mixed environment. I grew up in a high school I looked up the statistics, and I can't remember the exact number, but it was something like maybe 20,000 people were white in the city. 11,000 were African American or Black. 7 or 9,000 people were Hispanic, and about maybe 13 were made of mixed or others. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not as diverse as it should be, but it was pretty much a great environment to grow up in. I had like a Hispanic principal, teachers that I didn't have many Black teachers, but a few. But you know, I had majority white teachers and some Hispanic teachers and administrators, and I had friends from Laos and Cambodia, and yeah, so, and we were kind of like in a position, sorry, I'm just changing the temperature because I'm being cold. We were in a position, and I talked to another friend that went to high school with me, that a lot of people don't get to experience. We had no choice but to get along with the people that we were in school with. We couldn't, and it would be stupid, I guess, to call someone out for their race, you know, in our school, because it just, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it was because it was the 90s and it was just about time that things had changed, and it was after the civil rights movements, so we just knew better. But yeah, I grew up though with a lot of people. Sorry if you can hear my little one in the background. She'll probably die down soon. I'm gonna keep talking though. So I had friends. It was just normal for me to talk to people that were from, whose parents were from different countries, you know, but they were American citizens, and, you know, whatever, they tell me what, you know, what, I don't know, like about salsa dancing, and, you know, just, yeah, we just hang out and chill. And then you like go out into the rest of the world and you find out like they're not as modern thinking as, you know, our high school was. Anyway, so I had a ton of friends of, you know, like I said, of, you know, that were pretty diverse. And what I saw was really sad, and I hate to say this, but I saw Arabs being attacked. I saw during COVID Asians being attacked. I saw whites being blamed, especially during the George Floyd riots. And I saw white people and people of every race, you know, take a knee or march and protest against police violence. But I saw that like people were tired and they were hurt and they were angry. And this whole election, I've been thinking, do I even want to vote? I can't even remember if I voted the last election or not. I probably did, knowing me, but I don't remember. Because I started to get disillusioned in the system and start to believe that it didn't matter, and started to see that things that they were saying, especially during the Trump administration. I noticed that things they were saying that Trump was doing, like separating the children at the border. I was reading and doing research on it and finding out that those children had been separated under the Obama administration. And I had seen, it was a lot. It was just a lot of things. A lot of things that I disliked Trump for, Obama had done as well. Or that was done before the Obama administration, continued during the Obama, by the last Republican, was continued by the Democrats, and then continued by Trump. And so I just got to the point where I was like, this last few years, I just was like, I don't really know who I'm voting for. I definitely don't like Kamala Harris, but Trump, I just like him even more, because it is absolutely, and I won't swear, BS that any Black / Indian or any minority woman with a resume of her qualifications up against Trump with multiple felonies, like if any job, if it's like, okay, I'm gonna hire somebody to watch my children, and one guy has a ton of felonies, and another one was attorney general, and then vice president for years, and now running for president, or whatever. Who would I choose to watch my children? It's simple. It's clear. I'm gonna choose the person who doesn't have a felony at all. It doesn't matter that I strongly dislike her for being a prosecutor and feel like she's just as bad as the man, the man. It doesn't matter. She is more qualified, and I can't even believe it's a choice. As far as like undecided voters, I learned years ago, decades ago, that most of our decisions and the way that we think, like, I can't blame you and you can't blame me for disagreeing or thinking what we think, because statistically speaking, if we were born and our parents were Democrats, or Republicans, when we are of age to vote, we will be the same party as our parents were. We have been integrated and almost brainwashed by, our families hung out with other conservatives because they are conservatives, or, independents or whatever. So we've heard these opinions for so long that it's like, I guess if I keep saying the right way to go is always straight ahead, if I keep saying it and everyone keeps saying it around me, then I'm likely to believe the right way to go is straight ahead. So it shocks me that there's so many like undecided voters, but this time I was undecided just because I didn't think it mattered, and I don't think it does really matter. But I finally decided last night, after looking through the news and finding out about Hurricane, I'm sorry, I don't know her name, Helena or Helen. I know I should have checked that, but I just found out last night and just looked at the videos. And then I found out about the Iran attack in Tel Aviv all last night, because I was studying a different language for like 6 hours straight, and I haven't watched the news in a really long time. And so, yeah, I like took a break from studying and got online and was like, what happened? And so I don't know. And I'm like, okay, let me catch up on the news. So today I did. I like I caught up the news, at least what I could see, and um what I saw, and I talked to the young people, or I guess they're not the young adults. I called them and I asked them, like what they thought, and they said that pretty much the news is biased, and that the reason why I'm not hearing it, like when I go to glance at the news, is because they're not reporting the truth. That the only place they're reporting the truth is TikTok, and that that's why they believe that the reason why they really want to ban TikTok is because that is our only true source or main source of actual news left. And so I had them send me videos and clips of how they found out, of what was going on, and and people to follow, so I can change the algorithm and start getting actual news on my TikTok instead of I don't know what I get right now on my algorithm, but not that. Anyway, so yeah, after finding out that and then finding out what was really going on in the world, and then watching the news just talk about the vice presidential debate and how they're both like Midwestern and pretty much it's the same guy. They have more in common than not, probably, from what I could see. Yeah, seriously, it's not even like we're choosing between someone different. We're choosing a similar person, between a similar person A and similar person B. But presidential, that's different. So I decided this. I am going to vote. I am going to go through the process, and I'm going to ask that you do the same. And I'm going to ask you to vote for who you believe to be, or who you want to be elected, not who I am voting for, but that you vote. Because when I guess I feel most lost in our political system, I remember that someone said, vote if only so that you have at least tried your first step of negotiation or of improving your, the status of the world. If you haven't voted, if you don't vote, you haven't even tried the first step that they give us as an option. And yes, there's the whole, rigged voter thing, which, I do believe that the elections are rigged. But that's a whole different video. But there's also a record indicating that I voted. So I'm going to vote, and I'm going to vote for the candidate that I would leave with my children. Yeah. Because I think it's a simple, and for the reason that I feel like we are screwed. It is, I just see signs of the end of times. I see our world's going crazy, and I feel like the politicians are just puppets there to distract us. But it came down to I was thinking, which one would I rather lie to me, like stay on TV lying to me and saying they're going to do this or that, or they're doing this and that, while they're screwing us in the back, and, and yeah, and making it so our children have no future, and our grandchildren absolutely will have zero chance. Because I think the policies will be the same in the end, and not much will be different with either candidate. But I guess, which one would I rather listen to? And I can't, well, I can, but I don't want to hear Trump talk for another 4 years. Like, during the Trump administration, I was the only time in my life I got on Twitter. And I got on because I kept getting on the news and hearing that Trump's tweeted this. And I was like, and I laughed. And so I was like, did he really tweet this? And so I got on Twitter and I followed Trump because it made me laugh, the things he would actually say. But now, like, I am beyond thinking this is funny, how ridiculous this guy is, I am at the point where I'm like, I would rather watch anybody else talking to me than listen to Trump and wonder, like, does he know what he's talking about? Like, seriously. Like, I'm like, at times I'm pausing and waiting for his answer, and I'm like, does he understand the question? Does he? And then I'm like, oh, he understands the question. He does. He's just choosing not to answer. And I'm not saying that any other politician hasn't done that. That's what I meant about, there's no fair fight. There's no fair fight. You know what I mean? Fighting is being unfair, and they're fighting. So the other politicians do it too. I just cannot spend and hope to God and pray to God that I do not have to watch Trump annoy me while we're being screwed over and bombs are falling and hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, whatever, genocide is being committed, children are being stolen, and child trafficking keeps going up, and there are more and more reports about missing children and nothing being done. They just talk about missing children and then they just move on. There were missing thousands of missing children, but then we just move on and we talk about, whatever. Trump's made a fist and was like, and I give it to him, but I think that deep down inside, he just doesn't strike me as the type of guy that would react like that. Unless it was pre-planned. I don't, he's just not. That looked so fake to me. I don't believe that, so my ex-significant other was a sniper rifle, I cannot say it right now, sniper rifle shooter in the Army, and that was his best ability. I cannot believe that you would look in that direction and then your ear would get clipped and that you'd fall to the ground and Secret Service would be like, what? Protect the president, jump on him. And then you would say, but I don't believe that would happen unless the person was notified. You will be shot. It's just It's going to get the crowd riled up. They're going to love you. You know, you will not have any major damage. It'll just be like a little tiny clip where we've got the best shooter ever, you know, so they'll be extremely skilled. Because why was he looking in that direction for so long, you know, anyway, you know, and then, right, you know, and then get shot and then already have like a fighting pose. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. So anyway, I can't, like, I'm laughing, but it's not funny. It's not okay. And so I'd rather watch anybody else. And Kamala Harris, I don't think she's a good person at all. It's just came down to, like I said, one is actually qualified and one it has felonies. And one created the most hatred I've seen, you know, for pretty much every race. Like I said, from, you know, during their administration or their campaign, you know, only Trump, you know, said register Muslims or Arabs, did the stopped everyone at the airport, and, you know, did the Muslim ban, and then well, blamed Hispanic people as only sending the worst there, as if those people that were in my high school teaching me were the worst. You know, their parents were the worst. They would feed us dinner, you know, and help us make tamales or whatever. Yeah. Or again, you know, white people took a hit, and that was really sad too. I saw one of my friends' parents post a post, and it's like, you blame me for this, you blame me for that, or something like that. And then it was pretty much like, well, now I'm going, and I didn't say anything, but now I'm going to blame you for your problems or something like that. I don't remember. But it broke my heart, because if I had read that post, I would have thought that they were an anti-minority. But it was the post from my friend's dad, who took me in at 18, when I had a severe tragedy and needed probably the most help in my entire life. And they respected that I was a vegetarian, and would make their meal and then make me, you know, a vegetarian patty on the side, hug me. I don't know. They loved me. They showed me how. They helped me get a job. They, you know, helped me. They supported me from going, I did a hybrid of high school in the morning and even go to college earlier, like, you know, your senior year. So they supported me going to college, these, you know, while I was in high school, so I could finish college faster. Yeah. And I guess, yeah, during his administration, like, that's just too much, you know? It was, yeah, it's too much racism across the board. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm done with it, and I will be requesting my overseas ballot and voting for Kamala Harris to be president. And, yeah. All I can think of is Wake Me Up by Avicii. Or Wake Me Up When It's All Over. That's all I can think of right now. All right, well, again, so the subject is uncomfortable topics. That's the title of my channel, and Netflix reviews. I hope to rewatch Baby Driver because that was a really, really good movie, and do a review on that. If you like this video, or if you didn't like it but would like to hear more, like, subscribe, or share. And have a nice day, and take care. Bye.